The Cobalt Migration. Chapter 8. July 26, 2018. Julian Phillips with Tom Luong. All rights reserved. Please share weekly new chapters on Facebook. Sid Pixie Mimin. Chapter 8. What if all humanity, all men and women and children alive today, were all exactly the same age? But how could all people be the same number of days and years old? Or is it from some higher view, or lofty pinnacle of perfect knowledge, that to consider the very beginning of the species on earth called man, ages and ages past, then to see mankind today, might place any as the same age as the species itself? What kind of a worthless Jedi mind trick is that? Young Charlie Corso asked himself, finding his way one day at the University of Colorado, applying for freshman admissions status. It was in the fall season, and he would have to wait until the new semester. But he kept the worthless Jedi mind trick from the magazine in his thoughts for possible use later, or to find out what kind it was, wordlessly. Okay. It was just a magazine about books at the library. Like a tree learning and studying all about trees and the origin of trees, or an intelligent horse pondering where horses come from, and the destiny of all horses. The intense public curiosity surrounding UFOs, flying saucers, aliens from outer space, ETs, and so on, only grew and grew after year 1950, like a seed planted in some field of dreams. And so did Charlie. If that modern seed from the year 1947 was only a shiny military weather balloon, and the field of dreams where it was planted in a fall from the clouds, was only a rustic cattle and hay ranch in the Roswell area of New Mexico, known then as the Foster Ranch. Instead, the wild imaginings of the general public regarding such things would really never determine who planted those ideas, or if there was any reason at all to believe the Earth had ever been visited by sentient aliens from other worlds. Though it was to become the grist of urban legend and American UFO folklore, Charles Link tended towards skepticism, as far as the so-called Roswell incident. After all, his own father, Philip, was the U.S. Army Air Force Command charged with keeping such secrets, at least in part. So for Charles, and also his father, it was a gross humiliation as well. So he avoided the conspiracies and UFO teachers. It was too painful to try and explain. Melu was in therapy even for years following Hiroshima, and well cared for. But her secret was no secret. But mother, Charles recalled from their conversation, as he applied for admission to university. What do I tell them about my heritage? My family history? Our family past in Japan? The grandfathers and grandmothers? What do I put down? Melu was older and her secret past was older now, with her, like fading memories that blurred and blinked and then vanished. Tell them the truth, Charles, she told him. If only he knew. If only he knew. And so it was, once upon a time, even ages past, or only a few short and stormy years ago, a flying object may have been defined as a bird, a purple pterodactyl the size of a Mack truck, a rank and windy cloud, a star or planet, ever present but still firmly in place over ages and ages, and even before then. As the holy star guided the wise men to Bethlehem's burdened baby, then cast down to burn and scorch barren lands to a blackened salt flat, for far longer times than any man could endure. Only momentary, only temporary, any flying object must fly, then fall, then fail. About that time Charles' father, Colonel Bill Corso, or Phil Corso, was assigned to duty at Fort Riley in Kansas. Only an infant or toddler then, Melu's bouncing baby boy Charlie could hardly know about the US Army Air Force weather balloon that had fallen and crashed at the Foster Ranch near Roswell, New Mexico. Much later disclosed to be an ordinary part of a military exercise called Project Mogul. The fearful invasion from Mars, in their minds, was only nuclear test surveillance balloon, and nothing more. The famous headline on the front page of the Roswell Daily Record newspaper, shouted out in bold print type, "RAAF captures flying saucer on ranch in Roswell region." Like a cement dam behind a muddy lake suddenly breaks open, a watery wall of public curiosity, fear, and speculation flooded the pop culture magazine Society media, with many years of UFO conspiracy theory, and millions of followers. This popular delusion has continued to today's date.
3, 2, 1.
Really? Not really? Here? Elsewhere? Why? When? Fearful? Friendly? Possible? Impossible? Alone? Never alone? Unidentified flying objects? Yeah, I've heard of them. So what? But what if all people, all men, women and children alive today, were identical in height, weight, and appearance? What would you expect to happen? Charlie wondered. Then he wondered again. These are very strange college admission essay test questions, I think. He told himself quietly. Maybe I am going mad. Of course, either branch of the tree connected to other branches and other roots and other families and people and places. The tree, that is Charlie's family tree. Like anyone would perhaps be curious. The laborious process of introducing himself to the professional world, the educated world, the community of peace and wisdom, the stage and setting of a successful life, was never easier, never more difficult, than as the son of a UFO legend. Somewhat perhaps like the darling child of a movie star, or the son of Albert Einstein. Few he met or became friends with, either knew, or cared, and not nearly so much as his passionate ambition to seek and find and learn who he was, what he was here for, what he wants out of it, where he was going, and what to do when he got there. Things my mother never told me. Things my father never did. At the same time in Charlie's life, then in his early 20s, it was still formally a secret, and his father's claim in public that during his military service at the Kansas Army base, he personally witnessed a caravan of large trucks arriving with more than 20 tons of strange cargo. Associated with the subsequent UFO scare, Philip would later detail his account that he was directed to the base medical facility to view and witness of bodies and body parts from a recent mysterious air crash. And that was by then many years past, just after Charlie was born and Philip brought Melu to New Mexico. It's never easy for a child to piece together the true and real story of his family. Sometimes the mother and father simply do not know the past mothers and fathers, towns and cities, work and accomplishments, struggles, to share them with the little ones.
Vermont Avenue, downtown Los Angeles, July 7, 2018.
In Charlie's case, his mother would have been more successful to keep secret the real names and dates and places of Charles' Japanese ancestry than she had succeeded in keeping it secret that she did not believe the child to be an actual human being. Things my mother never told me. She was abducted by aliens. They got sexy or something in a spaceship, and she got pregnant with me. So I'm not even human, and my mother probably hates me, like the child of a rape. The bastard child of an alien mind that would do such a thing. Charlie. Okay, Dad. Okay. Things my father never did. Yeah, me. That's it, I'm the guy who dropped the atom bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. But no, I never did. Never. I never. Yeah, that's me. I invented the full spectrum of UFO conspiracy books, ideas, festivals, music, poems, news, events, strange lights seen in the sky. I designed and built Area 51, too. And I lived there for 5 years doing research on my own belly button. And now I'm creating a secret program financed by the most powerful nation on Earth, to recruit qualified people to travel into space in our own ships, to the moon, to Mars, and beyond. Yeah, that's me. That's what I never did. And I also built the Great Wall of China with my own hands. Afterwards, Charlie traveled back to New Mexico with another student named Susan. It was a time in their lives to dream of better things, even falling in love. She was a funny girl who laughed too much, somewhat chubby, with freckles.
I don't know.
She liked to wear flowing cotton gowns and tennis shoes, with beads and bandanas. They both were seeking to attend classes at the University of Colorado. Charlie was behind the wheel of the Chevrolet Nova he had used during high school and for summer jobs. The moon was as pale as a sour yellow plum someone had forgotten to pluck, cold in its witness, old in its wisdom, high above the highway home. My name is Charlie, and I am Cobalt. Yeah, well, my name is Susan and you're stupid. There's even cobalt in your food, Charlie. The sun is my father and the moon is my mother, and the stars are all my sisters and brothers. I am light, not darkness. The car rolled and rolled along the highway, the 6-cylinder automatic engine purring and humming, rattling like a bed of rocking rollers, rolling wheels, miles behind and ahead. The radio was playing but the signal was distant, a news and talk program. Charlie finally just turned it off. The wind whistled against the side door windows, rolling down from a handle. I never liked it much either, he said. Guess I'll be light, too. People can change, Charlie, Susan added. Anyway, I hope I get into the bachelor's program. Me too, he said, his eyes on the road. There were small hills and farms and fences and mountains, some other traffic zipping past. No one goes to college to teach the teachers about the same thing he pretends he wants to study, Charlie. No one except you. How far to Santa Fe? He glanced at the trip odometer. About 60 miles or maybe 70 miles, from this, he told her. Another couple of hours. We'll stop at the next rest stop. Susan just coughed gently, then bundled up her blanket against the car seat, and leaned her shoulder against the side door window. If anything can go wrong, it will go wrong, Charlie said. But she seemed to be sleeping. A half-mile passed. Then he said, "Did you see the headline from 1948? Air Force captures flying saucer? It was a cover-up." Kind of fake. Fake news. Susan just bundled up and snuggled into her coat and a pillow they brought.